So guess what, everybody? We now have boots on the ground in Somalia. Yes, in Somalia. Vice News says, exclusive massive military base buildup suggests the U.S. shadow war in Somalia is only getting bigger. Now, listen, the way our country is supposed to work, Congress has to declare war. The president can't just willy-nilly go to war anywhere for any reason, because then you have basically a dictator on foreign policy issues. They gotta do whatever they want. They're the commander-in-chief. They gotta do whatever they want. We're the sole superpower. We're an imperialist nation. Everybody can fuck off. We're just gonna go wherever we want. So in other words, no checks and balances on the president on foreign policy issues. That is so extreme, you can't wrap your mind around it. I mean, imagine any other country functioning like that, where they're the world's sole superpower, they're an imperialist nation, and one person gets to call the shots for everything. Who they're going to invade, who they're going to fight, who they're going to topple. Well, that's now what we have in the U.S. The Constitution says Congress has to declare war. When was the vote on Somalia? Point me to it. I missed it. When was the vote on invading Somalia and fighting a war against Somalia, or fighting a war in Somalia? You know what they do, right? They took an old school Bush authorization for use of military force from the Bush era. And they go, that allows us to fight basically anywhere we want for any reason we want. And they say, no, it's tied to 9/11 and terrorism and blah, 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 blah. But then you dig a little deeper and you find, of course, they're not fighting groups that were responsible for attacking us on 9/11. They're not fighting Al-Qaeda. In many cases, in Yemen, for example, we're de facto on the side of Al-Qaeda, fighting against the Shia Houthi rebels. Now, the Shia Houthi rebels did not fight us at all, and we are de facto helping Al-Qaeda by attacking the Houthi rebels, but they act like, no, this is covered by the Bush authorization for use of military force. It is such a bullshit argument that anybody who's familiar with the facts goes, that's bullshit. If you know the facts, you know it's bullshit. But now we're bombing 8 different countries, and now apparently we're sending boots on the ground to all these places too, and nobody's fucking talking about it. The Democrats are silent. The media doesn't even fucking talk about this. This is a pretty big issue, isn't it? Another war where boots are on the ground, no vote. No vote. It's unreal. All right, let's see what they say in this article here. The U.S. military is dramatically expanding its operations at a former Soviet airstrip in Somalia, constructing more than 800 beds at the Baledogle base, Vice News has learned. The construction at the secretive base marks the latest example of America's growing and controversial shadow war in Africa. Baledogle's expansion is one of what appears to be a massive U.S. military infrastructure development project in the Horn of Africa country that will see at least 6 new U.S. outposts built this year, according to multiple defense contractors who spoke to Vice News. Wow, 6 new U.S. outposts. The buildup coincides with an aggressive escalation by U.S. forces in their fight against Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab. U.S. Africa Command, known as AFRICOM, now has more than 500 U.S. military personnel in Somalia, according to a spokeswoman, a dramatic increase from 2016, when AFRICOM only acknowledged 50 American troops on the ground. So this happened recently. Remember, a soldier recently died in Somalia. And then instead of the dumbass Democrats and the dumbass media focusing on, hey, why are we even in Somalia? Where's the fucking vote on this? They got mad because Trump was mean to the widow of the fallen soldier. Hey, maybe attack the root of the problem, which is that we shouldn't be in this place to begin with, so that person shouldn't have been in harm's way. But no, they sidestepped the actual issue and said, oh, President Meanie Pants was mean again. Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. We get that. We know that. We know that. We know that. We know that. Why not fight the root of the problem? Why are we there? Bring them home. Get them out of harm's way. We don't need to be there, and we're there, and people are dying, and you don't have anything to say. That's a principled opposition to being there in the first place. You're fucking pathetic. You're pathetic. Now, why are we really there? Maybe it has something to do with this. This is in 2016 from Offshore Magazine. So it's an oil magazine. Somalia awakens as East Africa's oil province. Oh boy. So around 2016, there was a massive amount of oil found just offshore in Somalia. You know, methinks this has something to do with why we've decided, without any vote in Congress, to build 6 new outposts there and build an 800-bed base. Pretty sure that's why. Now, I know some people go, oh, that's conspiracy thinking. Yeah, really? Then why are we still in Afghanistan? We went there in 2001. They said, oh, we're going to get Osama bin Laden. That's why we're here. Mission accomplished, bitch. Come home. Come home. Oh, well, but see, what had happened was the sun was in our eyes and we also got to get Al-Qaeda. There's less than 100 Al-Qaeda people left in Afghanistan. Come home. Oh, but see, what had happened was sun was in our eyes again, but the thing that, what you see is that it's Al-Qaeda, but also now we got to get the Taliban. Well, the Taliban is a guerrilla army. Number one, they didn't attack us, as bad as they are. Number two, they're a guerrilla army in their own fucking country, and you're not going to win that battle. Look at Vietnam. That was the one lesson of Vietnam. You can't win a guerrilla war. You just can't beat them in their own country. They're not fucking going anywhere. That's what we're doing in Afghanistan. Maybe it has nothing to do with getting Osama bin Laden, Al-Qaeda, or the Taliban, and maybe we're there because of opium and the tremendous amount of mineral wealth. So this is what we do. We just go, we invade anywhere and everywhere, no vote on it, and then we just jack natural resources and treat the world like a global chessboard where we try to dominate everything and everyone. So I just need you to understand what we are. That's what I need you to understand. It's all a farce. The cover is, oh, we're fighting terrorism. We're against Islamic extremism. That's what we're doing. Which is why our best friend is Saudi Arabia. Because we're fighting Islamic extremism. You know, the country that's allied with Al-Qaeda in Yemen and arming Sunni militias on the ground, those people, the ones who behead people in the public square for sorcery and drug smuggling and apostasy. Yeah, we're against Islamic extremism, which is why we're allied with them. We're so against Islamic extremism that we invited Brunei into the TPP deal right after they implemented Sharia law officially in their country. That's how against Islamic extremism we are. Spare me your garbage arguments. Spare me, spare me, spare me. Bring the troops home. Get them out. They're in harm's way for no reason other than corporate profits. Bring them home. Bring them home now. Everybody should be talking about this, but nobody's talking about this because your media is broken and your opposition party is really a complicity party.